4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, Minnesota Vikings fans? Welcome into another episode of House Calls. I am Skoldoc, your host, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Dave. And we have a special guest here tonight with us, Skull Geek, in the house. He's been at Vikings practice, providing us with camp videos and all the updates. Super excited for him to join us and talk ball tonight. Skull Geek, thanks for joining us, man. Great to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on. Excited to talk some ball with you boys.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. And I just shot in the dark. I was like, "Hey, man, like any chance you want to come on and talk ball?" And you were all game, and I was super stoked. I was like, "Yes, we got someone with boots on the ground." And it's just different. Like when you're there, you're watching practice. All we get are the videos, right? So we don't really see the full picture. We got a lot of guys joining the comments here. Daniel's here, super loyal guy. Well, what's up, Dan? Welcome back in. We got Delton. We got Barbara in here. So welcome in, guys.
Cool.
We got a lot of excited guys ready to talk camp. So this is great.
Nice.
I'm stoked. So, I mean, let's just jump into it. And you got to start with JJ McCarthy. So your opinion here, you've been watching him. What are your thoughts on JJ McCarthy thus far in camp?
Honestly, I feel like JJ McCarthy is looking incredible, in my opinion. I know that Kevin O'Connell said that today was kind of a little bit of an off day, but in my opinion, I felt like he had a pretty decent day. I feel like if the Vikings can just get like middle of the road production from JJ McCarthy, our entire roster is just completely stacked. So if we can stay healthy and have JJ McCarthy do similar things what he was doing in practice today, I feel like we're golden. Who knows what could happen in the playoffs, but as far as like how he's been in practice, I feel like on Saturday he was incredible. A lot of down the field throws. He was pretty accurate the entire time. And I felt like he showed a little bit of resilience because the entire practice he was doing really, really well. Then it came to a session, like a 7-on-7 session, where he dirted a couple of balls. And, a lot of times when people have that happen, they'll get in their head and they'll just not be able to come out of that funk. But immediately after that, then they went from 7-on-7s to 1s v1s. And he threw that long bomb that I got on camera that I put on Twitter. And he did that a few times throughout that practice where right after he had, had a couple of bad balls, he just came back and threw those really nice passes. Now today, Kevin O'Connell said it wasn't that great of a day. I talked to Dustin and Jason Harmon, who are also at practice today, and they thought that he did just okay because yesterday he did so well and had a lot of down the field throws. But in my opinion, he didn't make mistakes today. He threw a couple of high balls to Jordan Addison. But in my opinion, if you're going to throw a ball that's not 100% perfectly accurate, throw it a little bit high. And these were balls in the end zone, so they were out of bounds. And I think it was like 3 or 4 balls to Jordan Addison. He was really honing in on Jordan Addison. But 3 or 4 balls where it was just barely out of his reach. So what I'm thinking is he just needs a little bit more time to kind of have a little more synergy with Jordan Addison and, with Justin Jefferson when he comes back. And I feel like it's just going to start clicking.
I mean, that's fantastic. And what you just said is very interesting because it seems like everyone's opinion is lining up. That there seems to be a consensus here. Will Ragatz of Sports Illustrated tweeted today, I saw this after I was leaving clinic, that it was not a great day for JJ McCarthy. He didn't say it was a bad day. He just said it wasn't a great day. It wasn't as good as the previous days, jiving with what you were saying. And it sounds like Kevin O'Connell reiterated that as well. And that's okay. I mean, he's a first-time starting quarterback. It's going to take time to get his timing, to get his mechanics down. And in my opinion, I'm elated with how well he's done in the first week of camp. I think this was best case scenario for JJ McCarthy, and it has me really excited. I think he's still 22 years old. For a 22-year-old quarterback to be playing the way that he is, this ball of clay that Kevin O'Connell has to be forming him into his version of the quarterback that he wants JJ McCarthy to be. That's really exciting for Vikings fans. And I just can't wait for, this camp to progress and to see how he grows. And just very excited with how that first week has gone. Dave, what are your thoughts with what you've seen so far on JJ?
So, I had talked about earlier that, he's going to have his ups and downs, and it's going to be trying to fit, trying to see if he can fit a ball in or not. And I was pretty impressed in a press conference where he said the exact thing. He says, I'm trying to, he's not too down on himself for having a bad day as he thought he had a bad day. And he says, I'm trying to fit, seeing if I can fit in this window or not. And obviously our defense. And I think it was Purple Daily. One of the guys said that that he was impressed on how he responded. Like, I need more of this. I need more of this tough defense. So, it's impressive. He's not down on himself. He's taken it as an opportunity, as a lesson learned, and that's kind of what we thought about him. And he's playing exactly how it was written, I feel like, and I think that's what we got in him right now.
From a mental standpoint, I think he's just wired the right way. I think he's got the it factor. He's a leader. I listened to the Purple Daily episode you were talking about with Phil Mackey walking off the field with him, and Phil didn't bring anything up. It was just JJ kind of bringing it up like, damn, like the end of that practice didn't go the way that I wanted it to go because Flores, got after him, but he was excited about the competition of Flores turning up the heat on him. And he was just excited to come back and get him the next time. And the kid is just all about ball. He's all about winning. And I think he's got a little bit of that Jim Harbaugh crazy to him. I think Jim really rubbed off on him.
One of the stupid posts I saw was there was a Sam Howell long pass, but Dallas Turner actually probably would have killed him if he wanted to. And he throws the long pass, and the thing says, how long before Sam Howell replaces JJ McCarthy? I don't think that's happening.
No,
I don't think that's happening.
So real quick on that post, that's an accountant called Polymarket or something like that. And I've been after that dude all week long because I guarantee you it's a Bears fan, because I counted there was 10 positive Bears posts this just from 8 a.m. today to noon. And there was 3 negative JJ McCarthy posts, and it's all propaganda.
Skoldock is the attack dog of.
Oh yeah, it's like that scene in Cool Runnings when he's looking in the mirror. You don't take no shit off of nobody.
Yeah,
right?
I see pride.
He has more bookmarks than the whole Twitterverse combined.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, that's a funny story. I had so many bookmarks going into that Lions game when we were playing for the 1 seed, and unfortunately, I had to delete all of them. And Lions Twitter let me hear that too.
Complete waste of time.
It was. It would have been glorious if we won that game, but Sam Darnold happened.
Yes.
Speaking of Sam Darnold, we could not, get the ball in the red zone when that Lions game and then the playoff game. I mean, that was really our undoing with the 4 games that we lost last year, both against the Lions and the Rams. How has JJ McCarthy looked in practice in those red zone drills? I know today was kind of shaky, you were saying, but I do like what you said. He's putting in a position where it's either our guy or nobody catches it, right? I like that. But in your opinion, is it looking like the processing needs to speed up in the red zone, or is it like a timing issue, like you said, where he just needs more time to synergize with his receivers?
Yeah, personally, I don't feel like it's a processing thing. I mean, obviously you're going to have reps where, they don't have a pass rush during the 7-on-7. So he's going to take a couple extra seconds because he's not pushed. But in those 7-on-7s, I think on Saturday he threw 3 or 4 touchdowns. He was more than 50% in 7-on-7s for touchdowns. And I know that's, there's no pass rush. But it seems like everything's clicking. Like you'll have a couple of those possessions where he's just, taking a couple of seconds too long. But I think that from what you're seeing when the 1v1s go, he's stepping up into the pocket and he's making that throw. I was telling you about one of the clips that I got today at practice where there was some pressure around the outside, I think potentially from Dallas Turner. It was on the left side. And then he just stepped up right into the pocket. He looked super smooth and just tossed it right over to Aaron Jones. And it looked just absolutely perfect. And one other thing that I wanted to say, not specifically about JJ McCarthy, I think when you go to these training camps, you have a tendency to just focus on JJ McCarthy because he's kind of the new thing that, you want to get a bunch of film on. But I'm really excited about Jordan Mason because we did have, a decent passing game with Aaron Jones, but nobody to really just hammer the ball in. That's why we kept bringing Cam Akers back, because Ty Chandler wasn't really able to do anything. He wasn't what people were hoping that he was going to be. I was one of them too. I thought that Ty Chandler was like one of the guys that was really going to step up last year. But I feel like Jordan Mason is just quite a bit better than a lot of the running backs that we've had in the past that like the Latavius Murray, a lot of the guys that were able to get the ball into the end zone. We just haven't had that for the last couple of years. So I'm just really excited about Jordan Mason. Are you guys feeling the same way?
I'm hearing nothing but good things about him. And
Yeah.
we're both pretty happy when we got him. I mean, we saw him play against us.
Yeah.
And he was a force. And everything
gosh.
I'm hearing about is that people are talking about how he's built like a brick shit house, and then people talking about his highlights that they saw at camp as, he's, not shot out of a cannon, but he's got burst. So I feel really good about him. And again, it's a perfect 1-2 punch. There's no everything guy anymore. It seems there's very few. You might, it might be one or two in the league, but right now it's you got the guy that can catch and block and maybe a scat back, and then you got the workhorse, and Jordan Mason finally fits that workhorse. I think that we could have the guy that's going to get the extra yard or the goal line carry that we just, like you said, we did not have. And it's been a while.
And apparently, from what I've heard from guys like Judd and Collar and Will, is that he looks like he has decent hands. And this is a guy who hasn't caught a lot of passes in his career, coming from Georgia Tech. They didn't throw to the running back. The Niners didn't use him in the passing game. So through like 6 years of football, he's got 30-something catches.
Yeah.
But apparently they think that he's got that to his game, and we might see him catch a few screens or catch some balls out of the backfield and utilize that part of his game. So yeah, I'm right there with you guys. We basically got him for straight up trading Ed Ingram, which seems not fair. So that's exciting. And I'm really excited for what that's going to do to our red zone offense, because we desperately need to be able to run the football when the other team knows that we're going to run the football. And it's something we haven't been able to do for quite some time.
I do want that to be true. Because, when Jordan Mason's on the field, I mean, it's kind of like telling the defense that we're going to run the ball. So it would be nice if Jordan Mason could catch the ball, but the practices that I've gone to, I don't think I've seen him catch a pass. And, Jason Harmon and Dustin might be able to, tell me that I'm wrong there. But now that I'm thinking about it, like just, rolling through it in my head, I just cannot remember him catching a pass. And Aaron Jones has caught a ton of passes.
I'd like you put up Daniel here about Dallas Turner. I just been hearing raves about him.
Yes.
Right? I see him show up in highlights, and he was gonna crush Sam Howell there. We talked about earlier, and I also heard that they were. And I talked to Skoldock the last time we were on, that I think we'll have Grenard, Van Ginkel, and him on the field, and it sounds like that they have them on the field at the same time.
Yes. It's been looking
amazing.
It's been looking crazy out there. I mean, those guys get a lot of pressure, and the pressure is coming from everywhere. Dallas Turner looks incredible, but even Jonathan Allen's been just like bowling people over. And he's got a lot of quickness that you wouldn't think from such a giant human, but he's got tons of power and a lot of quickness. And Dallas Turner's got all that quickness. I mean, it's like there's not even one bad spot.
Yeah,
We're just solid all the way around on the defensive line.
You
that's
heard it
going to
from
be
Skull
so.
Geek Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
Super Bowl, where you have no holes. We're set.
Warren Sharp rated our front seven as the best in the NFL going into this year, and from what I've seen from your videos, from people covering camp, that's no joke. In that 2-minute period, when I think it was yesterday, when JJ McCarthy went up against that first team defense, and from what I heard, I mean, it was not even competitive. It wasn't even fair because we couldn't block the defense. Like, they were just in the backfield right away. Nothing he could do. And, you hope the offensive line picks up, but Will Fries wasn't in at right guard during that sequence. And also Darisaw is not back yet. So there's a couple spots there that, we need to shore up when these guys get healthy. But it is good to see that our defense seems locked and loaded to be a top 3 unit this year.
Yeah, and I heard Kelly didn't practice today, right?
A sleeve on his leg, I saw. He had a vet day.
Yeah, for me, it's tough to like try to take the videos, then post the videos, and also see who's on the offense and defensive line. So sometimes I'm like,
I expect more out of you.
I have to go back and
I expect more out of you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you've been amazing.
I need a transcript and the picture and the video. No, but
No,
this guy has been getting talked about Okudah, right? Tell us about what you've seen, man.
I feel like he's been incredible. I mean, like, honestly, the secondary was the only unit that I was a little bit worried about on defense. Like, D-line's been looking great. It feels like we are set at linebacker, but I was like, man, we're not really deep in the secondary. But Okudah, he's been playing lights out. I mean, it feels like he knows what routes that people are running, and he's always there. And I don't know if, since we don't have referees, he's a little bit handsy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's going to be getting called for some of that stuff during the season. And I don't even know what happened, how he fell out of favor for the Lions, and then also Atlanta, and then Houston, because from what I'm seeing in practice, I'm like, the guy looks great. And not just him. Another guy I was wanting to talk to you guys about was McGlothern. That guy is
that was
incredible.
My next question.
Oh, really?
Yep. I saw the interception against Howell. So go ahead.
Yes. I mean, it seems like, I think it was Will Raggets posted yesterday about it. Like, he ran the wide receiver's route better than the wide receiver did.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like that's what he did again today. He's just knows what's happening before it happens. And Nudie.
Yeah, that's exciting to see. So Brian Flores has been so good at identifying talent, especially in the secondary. So for him to go get Isaiah Rodgers, and everything I've heard about Isaiah Rodgers is that guy's sticky as well. So we might be pretty deep at this cornerback room. Who knew, right? Like, the top end talent. Like, yes, we paid Byron Murphy a ton of money, and then he came out and he made an outstanding play on that free play where McCarthy just let a deep one go to Naylor.
Oh yeah.
And
he
then
just came over the top.
Yeah. I mean, just an excellent play by Byron Murphy to stay with Naylor all the way down the field and then high point that ball and knock it out. That's why you pay that guy. So, and then one interesting thing about Okudah that I heard from Judd Zolgad today was that he has noticed that they keep putting Okudah on every rep on the short side of the field. So he's got less area to cover, which should make his job easier. And they're letting him be physical at the line with these guys, which fits his game perfectly. So, they're really protecting Okudah, it seems, with the scheme and doing what Brian Flores does best, which is, I'm going to put you in a position to use your strengths, and I'm going to try to keep you out of spots where your weaknesses can get you, which is why I think we need to pay Brian Flores all the money.
Yes.
And kind of wondering why that hasn't been done yet. But
I heard Flores was asked about Okudah and why he didn't make it to other teams, and he's like, I have no idea why. I coached the player, with the way I see him, and these guys doing everything right. He's asking for more video. He's doing everything Flores wants him to do. So he's definitely on Flores' good side, and he's like apparently balling out. So that's great.
Have you noticed this Zemiah Vaughn guy at all?
No.
He's another lanky corner out there. I think he's on second or third team right now. He's an undrafted free agent guy, and it seems like he's the guy who's competing with Nudie for possibly that last corner spot. So a name to keep an eye on. But I've heard that
what number he was.
I don't off the top of my head.
Let me click here.
But
34?
34.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Herschel
think
Walker.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think I've noticed, but again, I'm doing so many things.
You're watching so many things.
Yep.
Damn it. You're letting up, man.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Getting old.
I'm sorry to let you down.
No, it's all good, man. So Dallas Turner, I want to talk a little bit more about him. To you, like when you watch a guy like that, does he look like he's on the same talent level in terms of his movement ability as Jonathan Grenard? Is he that fast? Does he have that twitch off the line?
I think it looks like that from when you're sitting there live. It looks like he's got it. He's got a little bit more heft to him, though. He's a little bit bulkier, so I feel like he's got a little bit more power. So I think they're going to bring slightly different skill sets to the defensive line. Like I just feel like Jonathan Grenard has that really crazy bend, super low to the ground, and is able to get the corner. Whereas I think Dallas Turner uses speed to power a lot more. And he apparently he's learning a lot of this stuff from Jonathan Grenard. But he's more similar to Jonathan Grenard than he is to AVG. So I feel like all three of those guys are going to be incredible for us this year.
And then my next question was, watching Jonathan Allen, I saw a rep him against Walter Rouse, and I don't even think the pads were on, but I just saw how big and massive and powerful he was.
Right.
When you watch him and then you watch Javon Hargrave, can you are there games similar to each other, or do they look different out there? Is Hargrave more of a speed guy? Allen's the power guy?
Yeah, I didn't notice much from Hargrave, but I noticed Jonathan Allen on a few different occasions. And I feel like he's got that power where you're like, oh my gosh, like the offensive lineman, I'm going to get bowled over. And then all of a sudden he makes an inside move or rips to the inside or just smacks him and then rips in. And it's just crazy because he can go from that power position to a rip and he's right in position to make the play. And I just haven't had enough time to watch Hargrave, but I've heard a lot of good things. Like he's got fantastic feet, and he did a lot more of that stuff when he was with Philly than when he was with San Francisco. But man, I'm super excited about both of those guys on our defensive line.
We got the meats.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just.
Let me hop back to the offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jalen Naylor looks legit, right? He looks like he's stepping up, right? I've seen some catches and some footwork and running tight routes. What do you think?
I mean, he looks great. Even in just drills, he looks just really crisp. And I know that he gained a bunch of weight, like muscular weight over the offseason, but he doesn't look any slower to me. Like he still looks really crisp. And it looks like JJ McCarthy kind of, has a little bit of synergy with him just because I think he was with the threes last year and JJ wasn't with the starters right away. So he was throwing more to Jalen Naylor than a lot of the other guys and Lucky Jackson. So for both of those guys, that's kind of a nice thing that they already have this connection with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, it looks like Lucky's had a couple of good days. He had a nice one-handed snag in the end zone today from JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
that's another guy. I kind of confused Tristan Jackson and Lucky Jackson last year because they both made plays, but now that Tristan's a Cardinal, Lucky's the only Jackson we have.
Lucky as Lucky.
Yeah.
But I mean, that guy's been getting a lot of wide receiver 3 snaps in place of guys like Ty Felton. I think he saw a couple wide receiver 3 snaps from what I've seen, but it sounds like Lucky's their guy right now because he knows the offense and he's reliable. And he's just another one of those dudes who comes in and make plays. I mean, this wide receiver room it goes deep. But
he gets open. That's another
Yeah.
thing is like I feel like he's always open. I really didn't see a ton of stuff from Ty Felton like in the 1v1s or anything like that, but I did see him taking a lot of punts and stuff. So I mean, if it feels like, when Justin Jefferson gets back, obviously he's number one, then Jordan Addison, then it's Jalen Naylor and Lucky Jackson. They're kind of like side by side. Who's making more plays? They're about the same. But Ty Felton, he's got to do a lot more in practice in order to break those 4 up.
Yeah, one bar, he had some comments about him because he was at camp and said that he has work to do. Felton has work to do.
Well, he's going to make the team as a 3rd round pick. So you have Justin Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, top 3, and then you have Ty Felton making the team as your 3rd round pick. That's 4. And then I think it comes down to Lucky versus Rondale Moore for 5.
I forgot about Rondale. He made a few plays today too.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you how he does he look like a little jitterbug out there? Like he's quick?
He doesn't look as quick as Ty Felton, but he does look quick. He's just like super short and stout and kind of quick. But I mean, I'd rather have Lucky Jackson on the team than Rondale Moore, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff that we get from guys who watch practice. Yeah.
Clipped.
Bookmark that. Put it on Twitter, man.
I need Naylor to work out because when he got drafted, I at my recap of the draft, I said he was the biggest value pick of our draft. And he's still on the team, so that's good.
But we gotta pay him next year, don't we?
What's that?
We gotta pay him next year.
I don't know. Oh,
he's gonna make some money elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And that's one of the reasons why Ty Felton is going to make this team. Is because if we do have to pay him big bucks, if he does have a great year, so hopefully he does, he's probably, we don't have the space for him,
Another thing to consider over that like wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 spot on the roster is what's your return ability, right? Like with special teams. Mm-hmm. So Ty Felton, he may offer something there. Rondale Moore, what's the returner from Texas? Byron.
Oh, Silas Bolden.
Silas, yeah. Yep. That's a name to watch. So that'll be interesting. And I think the preseason games will be interesting when it comes to the return game, because I think there will be some viable competition there.
Yeah. You want to talk about quick. Silas Bolden looks freaking quick, man. Like
I was pretty excited.
Rondale Moore and Silas Bolden do not look similar. Like Silas Bolden looks incredible. Oh, he looks super fast.
I hope he wins a return job of some sort and gets a spot, because that's intriguing to me. Kind of reminds me of that guy for Dallas, Turbin. For some reason, he sticks out to me, like just super fast, not a big dude at all. Very short, not a heavy guy at all, but just quick as hell. We are almost 30 minutes into the show, and we haven't mentioned my man crush, TJ Hawkinson. How's TJ looking out there?
Oh, so good, dude. Like, he just looks super powerful. When you think about TJ Hawkinson, you're worried about his leg. And I haven't even thought about his leg at all. He doesn't look like he just looks like his old self. Like right when he came back last year, he seemed kind of a little bit iffy. More. Do you know much about like leg injuries and what he's coming back from? And like,
not a ton, honestly. I'm foot and ankle. He had ACL, MCL, I believe.
Yeah.
So not a ton, just general timeline kind of stuff.
Man, he looks super solid out there, and his hands look really sure. And when he's jumping and coming down, a lot of times I would feel like if you're going up, you're a little bit scared that somebody's going to take your legs out. And I felt like the first couple of games that he came back last year, it was in the back of his mind. He was hearing footsteps and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Will he finally get to beat the Lions?
Yes.
I think so too. I think so
man.
Too.
It's 5 in a row now, right?
Do you guys see the Vikings taking the North this year? I mean,
I called it North. Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be homers on the show, but
I have the Lions
I-
finishing third, man.
yeah,
I'm with you,
Purely
dude.
on coaching.
I
Purely on
think it's
coaching.
Vikings, Packers,
Packers,
Lions, and then the
Lions.
Bears.
Oh
just
my.
because.
it's
Yeah.
it's a consensus. We're all there together.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
We just think it's going to be huge draw. I think Dan Campbell is not the brains of the organization.
Well,
That's
It is not-
exactly what I've been telling all my buddies. Is like Ben Johnson's gone, Glenn's gone. He's all by himself. He lost a lot of talent. Frank Ragnall's gone on his O line, and I don't know. It's just going to be a different year for the Lions, I believe.
Yeah. and Zeitler, their right guard stud, is gone too. So 2/3 of their interior offensive line is changing. They're going to start a rookie at center, going up against the likes of Jonathan Allen, who beat their ass in the playoff game.
Oh,
And
that was
and
ugly
and
for them.
Jared Goff is a guy who, if you can pressure him up the middle, and first of all, you pressure Jared Goff, he's a different guy. So that is not a quarterback who handles pressure very well. So yeah, and I just think that they're going to take a step back, like for the reasons that you said. The Packers, I think, are a good team, not a great team, but I do think that their schedule aligns the best of all the NFC North teams to get a couple freebies in there. Like I think they have the easiest of the schedules on paper when you look at their team. And the Bears, it's a new system. First, nobody takes that into account in Chicago, right? They expect to hit the ground running with Ben Johnson, but it's a new
He's
system.
running camp like a drill sergeant, I hear.
It's Josh McDaniels 2.0 right now, and they should be a little bit freaked out by that. We feel like we've seen this movie before, right? And I was the biggest Ben Johnson guy. I thought he was the coach to go get, but some of the stuff coming out of there is a little concerning. And right now, everybody, he can't do any wrong, and they love the accountability in Chicago right now. But dude needs to relax a little bit. Throwing his first team offense off the field, screaming at his second round wide receiver today in practice to get off the field. Dude's got to relax a little bit.
DJ Moore got interviewed about it.
Yeah, and he loves it, right?
It didn't sound like it.
You know what's funny is
he was like, yeah, I didn't see him get yelled at, so I didn't really have anything to say to him. But yeah, it's one of those things. You screw up, you're out. You screw up twice, you may never see that play again the rest of camp. That's what DJ Moore said. So yeah.
What I think is funny is that I feel like he thinks that he's being similar to Dan Campbell. But Dan Campbell's a hard ass, but he gives that love back to his players. And I feel like Dan Campbell's an athlete that's been there, and they know that when he's mad, he's just saying the things that it's on his mind, but he comes back with love. And I feel like Ben Johnson, it just comes off as just like he's really pissed off at me. It doesn't feel the same way that when Dan Campbell gets mad at his team.
Ben Johnson, to me, if I had to describe him in one word based on what we've seen so far, it's perfectionist. You better be perfect. He's going to demand that you're perfect, right? And if you don't meet the standard, he's going to let you and everyone else in Chicago hear about it.
Yeah.
And Chicago media, the way that it, takes things and runs with things, it's a hard place to play for players in general, but especially for a quarterback. And when Caleb came out and he had his first few practices not look very good because it's a new system, right? And shit takes time. He got a lot of heat for that. Now he's been better reportedly for the last couple of practices, so things are cooling down. But it was tense here in Chicago for the first few practices because they were not expecting it to look that poor offensively. So something to keep in mind and to monitor as we go down. But we've talked about this on our show. We are really taking the over on the Vikings plus 1.5 on that game. I think the Vikings win by over 7 points that game. Brian Flores week 1 against a new system in Chicago. I think that we're going to get to their offense at Soldier Field.
Yeah. Especially since, new coach, new system, they're not going to be prepared. And I feel like I don't know about 7 points, but I feel like we'll just bowl them over.
No, I mean, Ben Johnson has been the dude to figure out Brian Flores, give Ben
Yep.
Johnson his flowers. But that's just with a completely different set of weapons in Detroit. I don't see it week 1, first game as head coach. I just don't see that happening.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
I think Daniel's talking about this behind me, the Orange Bears flag. The problem is we burn that. You're also burning the Vikings because they're connected. We can burn.
That's why he's a Bears fan.
We can burn that one.
Married
Dan.
into it. I had to go out of the country. I couldn't be with someone with a fan of another team, so I had to go to Panama. Found out she was a Yankees fan. Damn it!
Oh no!
Ariana Rivera.
At least she's not like a Yankees.
My kid's little league team's the Yankees.
Skull Geek, is there anything that we haven't brought up in regards to camp that is kind of in the back of your mind that you thought would be maybe interesting to talk about? We have kind of covered mostly everything.
I did want to know what you guys think about Justin Jefferson. Do you think that how bad do you think this injury is? Do you think it's just something that they're just saying just to kind of hold him out all throughout preseason? Yeah,
damn you, Dave. Damn you. This the way that this staff handles injuries is uber conservative all the time. So personally, I am not worried at all. I think that we grade things like strains, typically grade 1, 2, 3, and a grade 1 typically means attenuation, which means stretching of the tissue without tear. And when they described the strain, they said it was, I forget the words, but it wasn't even mild. They said it was super mild, like just tightening. So to me, it was like, hey, we're just going to play this safe and sit him out. There's no,
he's
risk
not going to play in the preseason anyway. So
right.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not worried about it personally. Kevin O'Connell actually said something today, like, we're being careful with him, but at the same time, he wants to be out here. Yeah. I think Justin is like pressuring them, like, hey, I want to practice. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back next week.
Yeah, because that one thing I did not get a video of is Justin Jefferson. He made it look like he wanted to be out there because he's doing like little jukes every once in a while. And if you are sore or you've got an actual tweak, you're not going to be doing a little juke on the sideline. And then he's also talking to a lot of the other receivers, like getting out of breaks. Like he would be like walking up, showing them how to do the footsteps and then doing a quick break. And if you have a hamstring, like a real hamstring injury, you're not going to be doing these quick movements, And so I felt like it's not that big of an injury. And I feel like he really does want to get back out there. He's chomping at the bit and they're just like holding him back.
I love it though, because he's going to take a dip in fantasy football for no good reason. And I'm going to end up drafting him at like 7 or 8. I'll take the injury dip all day.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great opportunity for the other receivers, and like you said, he's not going to see a snap in preseason. But we're going to see a lot of guys fighting for those jobs, and it's going to be pretty awesome.
That is a good silver lining. I will say though that I think him and JJ McCarthy do need to get on the same page. They do need the reps together, because that was something I heard from Judd, is that it was very obvious that McCarthy and Jefferson were trying to find their rhythm together. Like in the first couple of days, there were some plays with some miscommunication. JJ would throw the ball downfield and Justin cut something off. Do you agree with that, Skull Geek, or did you feel like their connection looked just fine?
I didn't actually see anything because I was the days that I went was Saturday and then today. And so he wasn't practicing either of those days. So I didn't notice.
He had that interview answer where he says, he's a rookie and, Bears fans.
Oh, yes.
Crazy. I think as a Bear fan went crazy about how, JJ's talking shit about, but yeah, it's.
When I heard it the first time, I did not think that at all. I didn't think he was dogging on him at all.
They did this. Fans did the same thing when he would talk about when they would ask him about last quarterback. So
I just think that fans have a tough time realizing how much goes into that position mentally. So when Justin Jefferson makes a comment like that, like, we are all here to pick him up and to make his job as easy as possible. It's like he's not going to go out there and to be expected to run the show like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like, we want to make his job as easy as possible. Ryan Kelly is going to be handling a lot of these protection calls, right? We will be communicating with JJ if we see something in the secondary, like alert, like there's just things that the team is trying to do to take more off of JJ's plate. I think that's kind of where Jefferson was coming from. And Metellus said something similar. I think it was today or yesterday. Metellus said something similar. Like, this team is built to make his job as easy as possible.
Yeah.
I think that's all the vets are trying to relay is, there's a lot of pressure on this kid because this team is good and expected to win, but he just needs to be a cog in the machine, right? Yep. Just run the machine. And that's the biggest thing that Alec Lewis was looking for when training camp was starting. This first week of training camp is, forget about the results of all of these plays with JJ McCarthy for the first week. Does practice just look like it's functioning? Is it running on a timely manner? Do they have to keep stopping things and coaching him? Is everyone getting lined up correctly? And so far, the answer from what I've heard from these beat writers is a resounding yes. The camp is running perfectly fluid, which tells me that McCarthy is QB1, handling all these responsibilities and getting everybody in line and doing a great job as the manager of this offense. And that's fantastic to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I second that. I feel like when you watch it, he doesn't seem like a rookie. And when I say rookie, it's like his first year playing. But he just seems like he's, earlier in the podcast, you were saying that he has the it factor. And I feel like he really does have the it factor. Like, there's a lot of people like, I think Phil Mackey says that, or has said that Kirk Cousins played to not make mistakes. And I feel like JJ McCarthy is not that guy. He'll make the mistakes so he doesn't make those mistakes in the future. He'll know exactly how far he needs to throw it or how hard he needs to throw it. And he'll get a couple of picks, but that just shows him where he needs to put the ball next time. And I feel like he's just not scared to make mistakes. He'll make the mistakes, but he'll go out and do it right the next time. And I feel like he's just got that just a little bit different perspective on the game of football. Different as in he's going to be more of a winner than and maybe he doesn't have the stats that Kirk Cousins has, but he feels like he has command when he's in that offense.
Yeah, man. Dave, any other questions that you had for Skull Geek while we have him here?
Who do you think's the biggest standout on defense and the biggest standout on offense to you? Like, who jumps out at you? Or the biggest surprise?
Yeah, I wish that I would have been watching the offensive line a little bit more, just because I love watching offensive line play. But since I was so excited about JJ McCarthy and getting some film on McCarthy, I've been focusing a lot on him and the receivers. But the person that looks like a person that you don't know that is standing out is probably Lucky Jackson. The guys that I feel like the receivers that are standing out, like people that are catching the ball, are Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson. I feel like they look super confident catching the ball. And then with the quarterbacks, the one thing I'll say is there's a huge drop off from JJ McCarthy to the next guy. And I don't know who the next guy is, Sam Howell, I guess, but he's thrown a few picks, and I mean, Max Brosner, in my opinion, looks better than Sam Howell, in my opinion. So
that is something we should talk about. I have not seen one credible source say that Sam Howell has looked good for even one practice. It's been bad.
Yep.
And it's still only week 1 of training camp, but starting to get a little worried. And I've always been the guy that says, hey, if your starter goes down, you're pretty much screwed anyways. But, like, can we at least get a guy who can go 500 while your starter's down. And right now it doesn't seem like Howell can do that. And on the flip side of that, everyone's been super pleased with Max Brosmer.
Yep.
So I'm excited to at least watch that kid in training camp and see what he has.
Are you guys going?
I am probably not going to make it up there for camp. Dave, you're not coming up from Florida, are you? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Max Brosmer has been looking great, and even Rippon's been looking pretty decent. But in my opinion, Sam Howell's had a couple of good plays, but it's like the plays that he has had, he's been holding the ball for too long. And so it's like, you know, it looks kind of good, but you would have gotten sacked on those plays, you know? So
yeah,
it's not great.
That's Matthew Collar's big thing, listening to him about Howell, is like, it just can't happen because these wide receivers are out there running routes like they're on the playground and they're not getting any work in because the ball's not coming out, right? Like, at least give them a chance. So everyone has been really displeased with Sam Howell, which, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, like, we didn't give up really anything to get him. We traded down in the draft to pick him up. We're not paying him anything. It's just a situation where I think we might need a better backup. So our backup quarterback for the season might not be on the roster right now, which sounds like the same thing for the running back 3 position as well.
Yep. Who is the running back 3? Ty Chandler?
Ty Chandler right now. But Kevin O'Connell's comments on him so far this season have not been positive. They really need him to show him, you know, they need Ty Chandler to show that he can pass block and he can be trusted in this offense.
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe we'll trade for Cam Akers again.
Daniel had a question for us. He says, what's a Vikings player on defense or offense that you guys are pulling for outside of McCarthy?
The guy I'm pulling for on defense is McGlothern. I really wanted him to do well last year. I wanted him to get some time, and he really didn't get the time of day just because we spent some capital on Griffin and who was the elder statesman that came in last year at the 11th hour? I can't remember his name.
Gilmore?
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore. And so we had a lot of guys in front of him, and he was a rookie, so he didn't really get a bunch of time. But, man, McGlothern looks really good out there. Besides, Byron Murphy and Okuda, I think McGlothern's probably our third. I mean, he looks really good. I wouldn't say maybe he's not our third best, but he looks really good to me. He just looks quick, and he looks like he knows what people are doing before they do it, and he doesn't get burnt. He just looks really good.
Nice. And I don't think he's the fastest, like, most athletic corner. I think he ran like a 4.5 or something. So he must just be a smart player and, you know, understand spacing and understand route concepts and just put himself in good positions.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I agree with you.
My answer, go for it, Dave.
For me, I'm really want to see Dallas Turner blow up this year. And again, I just waiting on Jalen Naylor to take over wide receiver 3. So with those two guys, and I want that Silas kid to make the team. I was really excited. I thought that was my favorite UDFA when we got him. So
yeah.
I'm going to say TJ Hawkinson. It's not the sexiest answer, but I truly believe that TJ has the ceiling of being tight end 1 in the NFL this season. I think he can be that damn good. And I think that there's a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth because of the injury and then how he came back from the injury, maybe a little hesitant. And I think people forget, like, the dynamic player that he can be. Like, his game in Chicago last year was phenomenal. I think he had over 100 yards, and it's just that Sam Darnold didn't like the way that Sam Darnold played the game didn't jive with TJ Hawkinson's abilities. I feel like he was holding the ball, looking downfield more, and he didn't really use TJ as much. So I'm excited for him to have a big year. I think he's fully healthy, and I think that JJ McCarthy loves to use the middle of the field.
Absolutely.
And I think that TJ is going to be his best friend. And it does seem like, based on your videos, that they have a great rapport.
Yeah, really. And I mean, I don't really watch college football all that much. I'm a Gator fan, but I heard that JJ McCarthy really loved the tight end at Michigan. What was his name? Was it Loveland? Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Bear
apparently
now,
they had
right?
a really good connection, and I'm hoping that he has that type of connection with TJ.
Um,
Isn't
this
Loveland a bear now?
Yeah, he is. Top 10 pick for the Bears. This gentleman is wondering if Okuda has looked good in camp earlier. I don't know if you were here yet, but he said that Okuda was looking very, very good in camp, and he's wondering if he's playing outside corner or slot corner.
I think he was playing outside on the short side of the field, is what you were saying, and that's what I noticed as well. So yeah, he's been looking really sticky, a little too sticky in my opinion. When they hit the refs out there, I think he's a little too handsy. He's going to be called for a few, so he might have to loosen up a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that's what Brian Flores wants him to do. So he's just doing what he's told, and I think that he's looking really good. Like those guys don't have any space.
That's awesome. If he hits, that is huge for this defense.
Absolutely.
Because then you have Mekhi Blackman, who's a guy we were all excited about as kind of your main reserve there. And I think he's got good ability too. So again, we were talking about how that was our position, the cornerback position, that we were all kind of worried about the depth there, but it turns out we might have good depth if some of these guys hit, and they are looking good in camp per the Skull Geeks. That's awesome. Daniel's wondering if anybody saw Fry's pancake the Second Street defensive lineman. Did you see that?
I did not see it. It might have even been on one of my videos, but when you're in there and it's like so bright outside, you're like barely seeing what's going on. So I'm not exactly sure, but I believe it. I'm excited for Fries.
Sounds like he's got a nasty streak.
He was my number one get in the offseason. I needed him. And when we got Kelly, I was like, oh, we're getting Fries too now.
So
Awesome.
Dave and I did a video this offseason about 5 free agents that we wanted to sign or something like that. And Fries was up there for us. And then I think I said, you know what? Give me Kelly too. Just give me both of them. I'll take 2/3 of their interior offensive line. And then it happened.
I said I wanted, and you know who I liked too? Kelly.
we were synonymous though. I was right there with
we were
you.
both on them.
Hey,
yeah, I was
while
like,
you guys are at it, you
what?
might as well get Quentin Nelson.
Because remember we were talking about the Kansas City's center, right? And I'm like, you know what? Let me save some money. I'm like, I like this Kelly guy. He's a veteran. He's been all Pro Bowler. Yeah.
Their guard. We wanted the right guard. Trey Smith, is that his name?
Trey Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Trey Smith in the draft. I was a big fan of Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, and we were just like a couple of picks away from Creed Humphrey. I think he went like 2 picks after Kellen Mond. And I was so sad. I was like, man, can't we just move up a couple of spots? We needed somebody. I mean, he could have played guard. I know that we thought we didn't need a center at the time, but man,
he was an excellent talent. I think he fell because of blood clots that he had. Yeah. So that was pretty serious. And look at him now. He's the highest paid guard in the league. So good for him. Yeah, so we're 53 minutes in the show. We're going to be wrapping up here in a couple minutes. Let's go, Geek. Get back to it tomorrow. Are you going to be back out at the field tomorrow?
I'm hoping so. I haven't gotten my tickets. I got my tickets like 10 minutes before I left today. So I'm gonna try to get out there. I've got some work to do, so it kind of depends on my work schedule, but I'm gonna try to get back out there tomorrow.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we've talked about pretty much everything. Any other questions you had, Dave, before we let them go?
Who do you think's on the hot seat?
In general?
Matt Daniels.
Oh, okay. I like it.
In my opinion, Matt Daniels did a pretty terrible job last year. And if you look at it this year, I mean, good thing we've got Silas Bolden. I mean, he might be a little bit of a savior for him. But Will Reichard, he missed 2 field goals again today. And that's I don't know if that's on Matt Daniels, but he's a special teams coach, and it seemed like a lot of the things were going wrong in the special teams last year. So that's my
How far were the field goals?
What's that?
I heard he clanked one. How far?
Yeah, he did the old doink on the left side. That one was actually, I have the video of it. I put it up. I think it was like 55 yards. It was a longer one, but I think he missed like a 45. So, I mean, it's not like he missed 2 60-yarders. So,
Yeah, it's so tough because he had last year in camp the best camp of any kicker we've ever seen in Minnesota.
Yep.
Like legit. Matthew Collar was like, I don't think I've seen a better kicker in my life. This is incredible. And then he got injured, and it went to shit after that.
Yep.
And coming into this camp, I was of the mindset where I'm like, hey guys, these soft tissue injuries, they are healed. He should be good to go. And he's missed, I think, 3 kicks. I think he's like 7 of 10 or something like that. We need that to be better. We just do.
He had enough leg on everything. He was just a little left and right, so and it wasn't like we were having a crosswind. He was kicking into the wind. So he shouldn't have been left and right. So I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where you're just like, you don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past where, you don't want it to be a Daniel Carlson type situation where he makes a couple of mistakes and you're like, oh, you're out of here. And then the Bears pick him up or something. He's like the next best thing,
I do believe in his talent, though. I think that he has the talent to be one of the better kickers in this league.
I didn't know he had a big leg coming out of college. I didn't think he had
doesn't
a big
look
leg.
like it.
Yeah, it didn't. And now, but he does. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to cut the show there. Skull Geek, thank you so much for joining us, man. All of your insight, all of your videos. If you're not following, he's on X at Skull Geek. He's always flooding our Twitter feeds with these excellent camp videos that I'm reposting whenever I see one. And your insight's been fantastic. Definitely will have you on the show in the future. Skull to you, sir, and
Yes.
Let's have a great season, man. I think it's going to be a great, fun Viking season.
Absolutely. And well, thank you guys so much for letting me come on. This is the first podcast I've ever been on, so I'm kind of excited. You popped my cherry.
No, you did fantastic, man. I would have
going to say it.
You're a natural.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
Later, buddy.
See you, fellas. Yeah, bye.
Good night, fellas.